Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jason. I'm back again with another video, and I thought I'd just do this one. It's sort of a quickie here. This is a contest entry for MGK Boston, who now lives in Buffalo. So he's still got the B correct, I guess. I have been to Buffalo once in a blue moon back in the 90s. Yeah, sometime in the 90s, and reminded me a lot of Canada, actually. We're still up here as a country. We're still not the 51st state. Trying to hold ground up here in Canada. Snow's coming down, actually pretty heavy. Anyway, we got 10 questions to do today. Got my cheat sheet here for Mike, MGK Boston. And I'm preparing a bit of a contest myself. I think I might do one soon. I've recently hit the 1 million mark. No, the 1,000 subscribers mark, which was very long time coming, and it's pretty cool to see. Mike, on the other hand, he is going for 1 trillion subscribers, so I definitely wish him luck on that. That could take a bit of time. First of all, first question, there's 10 here, is vacation. Where would you like to go? Anywhere but outside right now, outside my window, with that amount of snow. No, some of my favorite places. I really would like to go back to Tokyo. I've only been there once, and I want to go back to record shop, obviously, and buy collectibles. Paris has been on my mind a lot lately as well. We went there last year or so, just briefly, and I've been there a few times, but it's kind of grown on me. Do a little record shopping maybe there too. Greece is also really good for record shopping. Been to Athens and Thessaloniki, very cool towns. Name a solo artist who everyone seems to love but you can't stand. Easy, Taylor Swift. That's a no-brainer. She's okay, but I don't understand the absolute fandom of it all. Not my cup of tea, and I just feel like there's other singers and performers that are much more talented than her, um, that deserve more props and adoration. Name a band that everyone seems to love but you can't stand. I'm going to go with Guns N' Roses. I've never really liked Guns N' Roses. The Appetite album is okay, but I did not see a revolution happening with GNR the way some people talk about them. And the later stuff is just not even really mentionable. Show a jazz album. Okay, I'm going to show a jazz album that I picked up this past year. A nice reissue copy. Something that's kind of obscure. I never heard of them before, but it's called Fancy Pants. This is the Lightman Plus One. Album's called Fancy Pants. This is sort of like, it's technically modal, I guess, but it's sort of branching right into spiritual jazz. Lots of vibes going on, lots of flutes going on. It's a bit hippie in a sense. It's really cool, and all that stuff is coming out of Houston, Texas, of all places, too. So this was a nice reissue by Now Again, and done in 2017. I'm not sure when this originally came out, but the reissue is cool because it's a double vinyl, so it has a mono version as well as a stereo version. And I was playing a little bit of that in the background just now. So next up, kind of as variety is the spice of life, as they say, or one of those cliches. Next up, we got to show a country record. I don't have a lot of country records in my 7,000 plus collection of vinyl and 1,000 CDs and 500 some cassettes, but 2 country records that I had quick access to. Of course, one of my faves, Dolly. Really, I only like one song on this whole album, but I got this thing for $1 back in the day, maybe 10 years ago. This is Here You Come Again. Nobody shows this record ever. I don't think a lot of people show Dolly in general in the VC, maybe in the country VC community. This is I always refer to this as kind of her disco record because it's 1977. It's of that era. We got bell bottoms and all that, but I guess it would be like country pop record of the era. And my jam on this one, and I got it on 45 first, and then I saw it on this album, so I picked it up. Two Doors Down. That's my jam. I love that track. You can just kind of play it over and over. It's only like 3 minutes long, and it's totally got that kind of melody of working 9 to 5 kind of. It's just a little less up there as being a known track. But Two Doors Down, I think, was the single or hit off that one. Another country record that I pulled as well is Canadian Legends Blue Rodeo. Don't have a lot of their stuff on vinyl. Tend to have it more on CD. And a band that just kind of like everybody in Canada sort of likes. They kind of like the Tragically Hip. Kind of grow on you. I mean, for one thing, they perform almost well every year, if not like a couple times a year, across the country. So especially in Ontario, Diamond Mine. This is a cool album that they put out in '88. It's sort of country rock. There's definitely a lot of Western tinge to their music. Next up is who's your favorite sports team or athlete of all time? Well, I was going to go with Iron Mike, of course, Mike Tyson. Growing up in the '80s, we all played Punch Out on Nintendo. But I'm going to go with a wrestler instead because I kind of watch more wrestling than boxing these days. I'm going to go with the legend, the American Dream. That is Dusty Rhodes. There it is. I even got the collectible as well. Yeah, Dusty Rhodes, big fan of the American Dream. He was born, I believe, in '45 as Virgil Riley Runnels Jr. There's an American name for you. From Texas again. So a couple of Texas mentions here in this one. He died in 2015 of kidney failure, but he has many, many kids who also wrestle now. Cody and Dustin and the whole gang. Share a concert memory. I've got a ton of them. In fact, I have a whole contest video about concert memories. Man, I don't know. Would it be like the first time I saw Public Enemy? First and only time I saw Public Enemy was in like '89, 1990 in Halifax, of all places. They arrived kind of late to the show, and I think they were flying back from the UK. They had done tours there, and the first thing out of Flavor Flav's mouth was "Hello, Montreal," which was not the city that we were in. We were in Halifax, but or the first or only time I saw Motorhead, which was amazing. That was around the Rock and Roll Orgasmatron albums. I'm going to go with the first time I ever saw this band, Slayer, which was quite late in their career. And this is, of course, the first album, the EP, that we all got as kids when we first heard Slayer, Haunting the Chapel. This came out in like '84 or something. And I finally saw them in like 2007 in Ottawa at local hockey arena stadium. They didn't fill the stadium. It was like maybe half the stadium, but it was a killer show. And all four members, original members, were still playing. Even Lombardo was back at that point for that album. I think it's a Christ Illusion album that came out. Didn't matter. They played all the classics. I'm going to go see Kerry King again. I've decided to bite the bullet and pick up a ticket for the upcoming Kerry King show in Toronto. Mostly to see the opening act because I want to see Municipal Waste. I've been kind of a fan of that crossover thrash band for a while. It'll be nice to see Kerry again, but I don't know any of the songs from that solo album that he put out. I'm sure he's going to play a lot of old Slayer songs. So there you go. Shout out to a newer vinyl community channel. New to me anyway. I don't know how long he's been going. I think for a couple of years now, but I'm going to give a shout out to John at Down Under Tunage down in Melbourne, Australia. Feeling an affinity with Australia lately. They're not quite as under attack by Trump yet anyway as we are in Canada, but like, the old Commonwealth buddies. And it's always fun to watch what they uncover down under. And so, yeah, it's kind of a new channel to me, newish channel to me. He's only got 250 subs or something, so go check him out and sub him up. And he's got a wide taste in records, surprise, surprise, but he really, in particular, he likes his goth rock quite a bit too. He's got a lot of Sisters of Mercy and that kind of stuff. So John at Down Under Tunage, I'll put a link below. Show an album by a Canadian artist. I already showed some Blue Rodeo there, but I'm going to show a record that does not get a lot of love or attention in the VC, or doesn't get a lot of shows anyway. Montreal band from the '80s called Asexuals. They really, I think it's like a one and done band. But members of this band went on to form kind of alt indie rock band, the Doughboys, in the '90s. This came out in '84, called Be What You Want. It did get a reissue not long ago. Definitely worth picking up if you're into like early '80s hardcore. A little bit melodic with the vocals too. I would say it's similar a bit to like Agent Orange, a little bit. So yeah, out of Montreal, the Asexuals, cool record. A record I had when I was a kid, and I managed to score an OG copy again. And last but not least, Happy Birthday. Show an album that was released the year you were born. Well, we don't like to talk about the year we were born, but I'm going to show you here 1975's Olympic Runners. I'm not going to show you the whole cover actually because it has to be censored. But it's a record I just picked up actually this past year. New to me, 1970s funk band from the UK. And I found this in the bins, a used copy, and checked out, previewed a couple tracks, and man, jumped on it when I heard "Get This Thing Down" on side 2, the third track. I'll play a little portion as we go out here, but recognize the sample immediately. It was sampled in 2000 by a hip hop duo, the High and Mighty. Did a lot of cool tracks, B-Boy Document, etc., on Raucous Records. Post Golden Age, post Golden Era hip hop, 2000s, but the underground sound of 2000s. They sampled this record for a track called Dick Starbuck, Porno Detective, and I think the vibe kind of fits that. So anyway, that's my entry, Mike. Good luck, bon chance, and I'll see you guys soon.